Hi, it's Daniel, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make this really cool sea turtle I designed. My favorite part about it is these really cool details on the back of the shell, so it looks more like the pattern on the back of a sea turtle shell. Let's get to folding, shall we? So for a turtle about this big, I'm going to be using a 35 centimeter sheet of Tant, which is one solid color on both sides, and it's a little bit thicker than Kami, but it's really good to fold with. So we're going to start by folding a 32 by 32 grid. So we're going to start by bringing this bottom edge to the top. We're going to rotate, move those a little, take this bottom edge, and fold it to the top. So all you have to do for 30 seconds is fold to 16ths, and then divide it one more time, and then you have 30 seconds. So first we have to make 16ths. So now fold this bottom edge to this center crease we just made. This model is a little bit tricky, so I would recommend a little bit of experience. So now we're going to rotate it, and then bring the bottom edge to the center crease. Rotate, bottom edge to the center crease. Rotate, and then do it one more time. So, bottom edge to the center crease. Now what we're going to do is make eighths. So we have fourths right now, now we have to divide it again. So fold the bottom edge to this new crease. Then fold this edge to this last crease. One good thing about grid folding is you can easily align creases and know that they're correct because you can look at the crease lines you've made before, assuming that those are accurate, and you can make sure that they just continue along the paper. So like this. Now we're going to unfold, rotate, and then we're going to fold this bottom edge to this crease. Take this edge, fold it to the second to last crease. If you fold it to the last crease, then you'll get a crease for 16ths. And we don't want that just yet. Unfold, rotate, and now do everything you did again. So this bottom edge to here. Now fold this edge to the last crease. Fold, rotate, fold this bottom edge to this crease, and then fold this edge to the second to last crease. Unfold. Now we're going to turn this over, and now we have to do 16ths. And I'm going to use the bunch up method, which is just making a bunch of pleats and putting it all in one line. But you can also do it the other way, where you just fold these up and just make the single creases in between, and then you'll do that here and down this side. But we're going to use the bunch up method since it's a little bit easier. You just have to be a little more accurate. So now what we're going to do is start by folding this edge to this crease. And now this mountain crease, pick it up, and then we're gonna fold it on to this crease. So like this. And then just keep on doing that the entire time. So pick it up, and then fold it on to this crease. Pick this up, fold it onto the crease. Up, fold it onto the crease. If you've watched some of my prior videos, this should be a no-brainer since a lot of the models that I've taught entail making grids. So, one last time, fold this onto this piece. Now what we're going to do is turn the paper over, so it's like this, fold down on this crease, and then fold this edge to this edge. Now we're going to unfold all that. And now we have 16s going vertically. Now we have to make them going horizontally. So we're going to repeat everything we just did. So now, fold the bottom edge up. One thing you want to make sure of is that these pleats aren't creeping, which means the extra paper isn't kind of warping it. So like if it's like this, this might look right, but then you push it down and it's to the side. So we want to make sure that all of these pleats are nice and flat. And now we're going to start that process of picking these up and folding them onto the next crease. Up, fold it down. There's one other thing you can do, is that you make this a mountain, and you make this a mountain, and then just kind of maneuver it so it easily pops up. But I feel like that's a little bit too much work just to get one pleat, when you can just do something as easy as this. Bunching, turn it over, fold this down, and then take this edge and fold it to this top edge. And now, if you unfold it, we have 16ths. Now, to fold some of the other models I've taught, this is when we'd start doing the pre-creasing and then the claps. But we still have to do some more pre-creasing for the grid since we need 32 by 32. But we only have to do the dividing one more time. It'll just take a little bit longer. So we're going to turn the paper over, flatten all these pleats. Now we're going to do everything we did for 16ths, just do it more. So bottom edge, take it to here. And just keep picking these up and folding them onto the next crease the whole way. The paper does end up getting a little bit thick, especially my paper since it's thicker than kami. But if you're folding with kami, it'll still get thick, it just won't get as thick as mine. So I would recommend folding this model from kami first so you can kind of get used to the entire sequence of folding it. And then deal with the thickness your second time through. try and make these a little bit neater. Grids can be pretty tedious when they get really thick because they're harder to be neat and harder to work with. And now we're going to turn it over so it's like this. Fold this down along the existing crease, and then fold this edge to the top edge. Okay. Now we're gonna unfold this. Now we're going to repeat everything we just did, going the opposite way. So fold this up. And now we're just going to start bunching. Okay, now we're gonna unfold it all. And finally have a 32 by 32 grid. Now what we're gonna start doing is the details on the shell of our turtle. So we're gonna try and find the center of the paper. So just fold the model in half. And then I'm gonna mark it so you guys can see it a little bit better. I always check this multiple times. Okay, so this is the center line. We're gonna make 3 pleats, or sets of pleats. So this is gonna be a mountain, and then 2 valleys. So it's like this. And then what we're gonna do is do that 2 more times. So 1 here and 1 here. So fold this over. And then fold this over. So it's like this. And now we're gonna do this 1 more time over here. So fold this over, and then fold this over. Okay, now we're gonna start making the exact details. So to figure out where we wanna put our first set of these 3 little details, I'm gonna unfold this just so you guys can see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 units. Let me just check that one more time. Yep. So 8 units is where this is going to be. So count 8 units down, and then I'm going to make a mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then at the bottom of the 8th unit, I'm going to make a little intersection. So then we're going to end up having our first triangle be right here, and right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to end up making a mountain fold that goes through all of this, all these layers. So I'm just going to make that. So it's like this. And now we're going to end up making an X. So right here, this is 8 units. So we're just going to push. And then put your finger down so it'll end up aligning with the mark I just made. So it'll be like this. And then do that on the other 2. So we're gonna pop this out, make this a mountain, and then push down right here to make these 2 creases. And then you're gonna end up wanting to make this crease right here too. So ultimately, we're gonna make a little square right here. And then one more time. So push this out from under. And then push in right here and make these 2 creases. So now it's like this. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to make a mountain fold right here. So right on top, through all the layers. And then we're going to pleat it. So we're going to fold it like this. But these are coming back. So we want that to happen. So then push in. So then it makes this point. So as you're making this, let this happen. And then make the rest of the square. And it's going to be hard to collapse it until you do these first three. Until you do all of them. So the first one won't quite work until you get the second one, and the second one won't quite work until you get the third one. This is a bit of a tedious step, though, to try and be neat. Because the paper just wants to kind of ball up, and you don't want that to happen. Okay, so now we have our first three details. So now we're going to make the second set. So I'm just going to try and make these a little bit neater. Because as I said before, it is hard to make these really crisp and clean. Yeah, that's probably the neatest I'm going to get these two. And this really depends on taste, on how many you want. So the more that you do, the longer your turtle's going to be. But you can't go too long, because then you won't have these pleats for the back fins, so it might interfere with your back fins. So now we're going to skip a unit, and then those are our next triangles we have to make. So we're going to pull this up and then start making these. You could pre-crease these, but you'd have to unfold all the pleats and do all of them. Now we're going to make this mountain fold. Push these down. to make the bottom of the square. I'll redo this one. This one got a little bit away from the neatness side of it. So I think the sweet spot of sets of these is 6. As you can see on this one, it gives enough room for the sides of the shell, the back for the tail, the back fins, and the front fins, and the head. So that's how many I'm going to be doing. But if you do a little less or a little more, then you're going to have to adjust your turtle and the way that you're folding it, since you have more or less paper. So now, skip the unit. So then this is going to be a triangle, this is going to be a triangle, and this is going to be a triangle. So we're going to make the bottom of the square. The square that I keep talking about, if you missed it, is that this square, since we've made half the square, we have to make a mountain fold here and a mountain fold here to complete the square. And one thing you want to make sure that the half point of your square and this go right down to a point right there. Right here. Now, make this mountain. And now I'm gonna do the next 3 sets on my own, but you guys should definitely rewatch the video of me doing these just to make sure that you have this correctly before you go on to the next set. Okay. If you've gotten to here, in my opinion, you've gone past all the hardest things. So if you got to here, good job. So now we're going to start making the structure for the head. So to make that, we're going to open this part up like this and push that crease up. And then make it a mountain all the way to this way. And then we're gonna fold it down and then make this diagonal crease. So it's like this. And then we're gonna do the same on this side. So we're gonna pop this out. Make this diagonal right here. And then make this mountain crease. And now we're gonna pleat this up to, if we check, this crease. So we're going to pleat it up to this crease. So one pleat. And then 2 pleats. So you want to pleat it 2 times. So now it's like this. And now what we want to do is we're going to partially unfold this to make a mountain crease. It goes like this. So then this is going to be part of the fin. So then we're just going to start pleating this up. So make this pleat and then make the mountain fold. Make this next pleat and then valley fold and then the last mountain. And then a valley. So now it looks like this. And then we're going to repeat all that on this side. So, make the mountain. And keep making the pleats until it gets to here. Just some basics of box pleating. And if you didn't know how to do any of that and it didn't make much sense, I'd suggest referring back to my stick figure tutorial at the claps. It's just like that to be able to get the arms. And now we're gonna do what we did here, back here, except for doing the head part. So make the mountain, do all of these layers. And the one thing is, you can't go very far. So what you have to do is maneuver this so you get this little flap, or you can fold this down. So it's like this. So I'll show you guys that again. So you're gonna make this mountain, make the valley, and then push this in to make this. So then we get a corner of our shell. And now, to finish up the fins, we're gonna open this up, and we're gonna spread sink this corner right here. So, just push these 2 points away, and then push it in. So then it forms a little triangle. Like this. And it's like this when we start, but we're gonna push up this point right here. So now it's like this. And then we're going to do that on these three. So, spread sink for the triangle, and then push the corner up. Spread sink here. Push the corner up. And then one last time right here. Spread sink, so push it down, and then pop this corner up. And just kind of bunch everything all together. And then the last thing we're gonna do is shape the head, which all we're gonna do is see right here. We're gonna take our finger and open this up and then make this crease right here, like this. And then push the sides out. So then you have a box-like head. And now you can shape this however you want. So I'm just gonna kind of round these corners just a little bit. And make a little tail with this access paper. Congratulations, you are now finished with the turtle. Hope you liked the turtle design. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and make sure to check out my Instagram, Sechel Origami, to see what I'm folding. And make sure to comment if you have any questions about what paper I'm using, questions about the folding, or a project you want to see next. Happy folding. Goodbye. Cut off by, just say happy folding. I look like Kermit the Frog. You look like Kermit the Frog.